22-year-old Zlayiah Frazier was a great mom to a 1-year-old. She was always a source of encouragement for everyone around her. Constantly humorous and joyful. She seemed to have it all on the surface.
Oh, handsome black man. Hey, Daddy.
Hey, big kid.
We have a boy.
He gotta be great. He gotta be great. He gotta be great. He got to. Big dog doing it. Doesn't Big Dream dog. Yay.
Sadly, Zlayiah was in an abusive relationship with her child's father, and this relationship would eventually cost her her life. Welcome to Viral Crimes. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for more stories. Zlayiah Frazier and Jonathan Welch appeared to be in a loving relationship. They have been together many years. The couple posted pictures on social media showing they were happy in love. Frazier posted 6 years strong, never once broke up. One follower asked, "What's y'all secret?" Frazier replied, "Trust, forgiveness, and communication." They were both excited when they found out they were having their first child. Welch was even more excited because he was having a boy. He was so proud to be a father and wished great things for his new baby boy.
We have a boy.
He gotta be great. He gotta be great. He gotta be great. He got to.
Sadly, the couple's relationship would take a tragic turn. On June 2nd at around 7:30 in the morning, police were sent to a residence on the 13,000 block of Kilbourne Street, which is located on the east side of Detroit. Zlayiah Frazier called police to report that her baby's father, Jonathan Welch, had sexually assaulted her after waking her up at 3 in the morning. Welch continued his abuse of her over the next several hours. He insisted that she provide him the passcode for her mobile phone. As soon as she said no, he began to physically abuse her. He began by hitting her with his fists, and then he strangled her by wrapping an extension cord around her neck. Welch burned her arms and legs with a metal spatula and doused her whole body in gasoline. Following that, he made an effort to sexually assault her with a pole. He threatened to kill Frazier with a drill motor and he beat her with a belt. When Welch left Frazier alone for a moment in the residence so that he could go into the kitchen, she ran out of the door and contacted the police. She bolted from the scene and made a beeline for the home of a nearby neighbor. Welch followed her to the porch of the neighbor's house and attempted to drag her back inside their apartment, but ultimately he gave up and left. After that, the neighbors brought her inside their home and then phoned the authorities. Welch went back to the home of the neighbor, kicked in the door, and then left the scene in his car before the police arrived. He was ultimately apprehended by the police at about 11:30 a.m. on the same day. Welch was arrested and charged with a multitude of offenses. In spite of the severity of the assault, a court in Detroit set Welch's bail at $100,000, which his mother was able to pay the $10,000 on June 8, representing 10% of the total sum. He was released on June 8 to his mother's home and given the order to keep his distance from the victim and was also given a GPS tracking device to wear. 2 days after posting bail, Welch assaulted and murdered his baby's mother, and his stepfather at his mother's house. At approximately 8:14 p.m. on Sunday, July 10, at the residence of Welch's mother located in the 20,640 block of Kenosha Street in Harper Woods, Welch stabbed his mother in the back multiple times with a butcher knife, and he also caused the deaths of his baby's mother Frazier and his stepfather Bray through blunt force trauma. Welch's mother ran to a neighbor's house to get help after she was stabbed.
I said, "Who stabbed you?" And she said, "My son. He's stabbing everyone in the house."
The Harper Woods Police Department was sent to the area, where they established a perimeter around the residence. Officers spotted the defendant's 1-year-old son in the backyard as they were putting up the perimeter. He was taken by ambulance to a nearby medical facility for treatment. According to the allegations, Welch locked himself inside the house and opened fire on the responding cops. The hostage situation continued for a number of hours. At some point, Welch lit a fire inside the house and then stood at the entranceway. Officers were able to take him into custody, and then they transported him to a nearby hospital for medical attention.
23-year-old Jonathan Welch was let out on bond, accused of torturing his girlfriend. Police say he used that bond as freedom to take her life and the lives of others.
1 week ago, this shocking scene played out across the street from Jeff Wolf's Harper Woods home. Video showing 23-year-old Jonathan Welch surrendering to police after prosecutors say Welch killed his longtime girlfriend Zlayiah Frazier, his stepfather Robert Bray, setting his mother's home on fire and shooting at police. Also, Welch's own mother was stabbed in her back during the attack. Police now confirming tonight that mother, Flossie Nicole Bray, has died from her injuries. All this taking place after Welch was arrested and charged in June with torturing and sexually assaulting Frazier. But a 36th District Court magistrate gave Welch a $10,000 bond. Welch's mother bonding her son out. Hours later, police say Welch attacked her, Frazier, and his stepdad.
Defendant Welch appeared in court on Wednesday and was arraigned on multiple charges, including 2 counts of first-degree murder, 4 counts of assault with the intent to murder, 1 count of second-degree arson, 7 counts of felonious assault, and 6 counts of felony firearm. He was remanded to jail at that time. Prosecutors called for an emergency bond hearing for Welch on the original charges.
Possible new charges and the contact violation. I'm asking the court to violate Mr. Welch's bond and remand him to the custody of the Wayne County Jail pending further proceedings.
Mr. Glenn?
No argument, Your Honor.
And although it's far too little, far too late, the court is going to remand the defendant to the custody of the Wayne County Jail. This is the court's worst nightmare, worst possible scenario that could happen, in that a witness has been killed after the defendant was placed on bond, given benefit of being placed on a bond on house arrest.
Can I talk? No. Can I talk, Your Honor?
You may want to discuss that with your attorney first.
All right.
Unfortunately, this bond hearing came too late to save Zlayiah's life.
He killed my sister. He killed my sister. They should never let him out of prison. Her ex, he had just got out. He was out on tether torturing her, and they let him out of jail.
Jonathan was released to his mother's house and put on GPS tether, and this is where Zlayiah was murdered. It is unclear what Zlayiah was doing there with her son after having been so brutally attacked by him previously. This case is ongoing. There should be more details released in the future. Sadly, none of the victims survived, therefore only Jonathan is able to give details of what happened that day. This case is truly tragic. Jonathan Welch should have been previously held without bail after committing such a horrific crime against Zlayiah previously. Sadly, a 1-year-old little boy has lost both of his parents. The family set up a GoFundMe to help cover Zlayiah's funeral expenses and to help her 1-year-old son that has to grow up without his mother or his father. My condolences to the family of all of the victims. This should have never happened. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.